Okay, welcome. Thanks for visiting my very small YouTube channel. I'm just, I guess, doing a review on the tuning that I'm using for my 5.9 Cummins. It's an '03 Dodge. And lots of different ways you could go for tuning. Really depends on what you are looking at getting and doing. If you have a pretty much a stock truck and you're looking at not going too crazy on anything, in my opinion, a Smarty or the Smarty Junior are good ways to go. If you're looking to add more potential, bigger turbo, bigger injectors, possibly built transmissions, studded and all that wonderful stuff, then custom tuning is kind of where it's at, in my opinion. And however, for the '03 and '04 guys and gals, not a lot of choices from what I've seen, and I'm sure somebody could correct me, not a lot of choices for on-the-fly tuning. And I found a small company in Canada, actually, that does offer that and does offer some tuning that works with being able to do on-the-fly with a '03 and '04. So I just thought I'd share my experiences with that company. The company's name, now this is high tech, guys, so there we go. I'm sorry, I'm very cheesy, but I'm kind of old school, not real high tech at the moment. So Optimal Welding is who I used, a small company out of Canada, and fairly simple to do. And I was able to do it, so if I can do it, anyone can do it. Mounted my little tuning knob here, and basically he gave me 6 tunes. We have, I call it stock. It's not really stock. He calls it valet mode. It's basically 20 horsepower over stock. And then to the right, the next click, we have tow, which I want to say is 60 horsepower. I might be wrong on these numbers, 60 horsepower. And then the next click would be in street mode, which is 120 horsepower. And then there is race mode. And race mode puts you at 160 horsepower roughly. And that's kind of what that goes. And then then going to the left, we've got 12 valve tuning for street mode and then 12 valve race. And what's interesting about the 12 valve tuning is it changes it from a dual event injection event to a single event. And from what I've seen a lot of different pros and cons of doing it. I've heard people say, "Oh, you'll blow even more smoke, and it'll run really bad," and all this kind of stuff. The pros for doing it, from what I've seen and from what Optimal Welding told me and what I've dug around, is that supposedly changing to a single event for your injection is supposed to lower your EGTs. Now, I have to admit, I haven't necessarily seen that, but I might be, I don't know, I just haven't seen it any lower. However, I think if you were to use it in the newer models, again, like an 04.5 and later, and getting rid of that third ejection event and going down to that one, I could imagine it lowering your EGTs, but I haven't noticed a big loss. In fact, I would say the only negative thing about when I run in 12 valve, obviously the motor's louder, and I'll show you a quick what that's like. And it sounds cool. If you like the old traditional diesel sounding, it sounds awesome, I think. But the only con I've really noticed, actually two, I'm sorry, there's two. One is cruise works. It works fine on flat roads, flat highway, freeway, not much of a grade. But if you're going up any kind of steep incline or pass or something, you're probably going to want to change it out of the 12 valve tune, because what happens is it kind of starts lugging it a little bit, it's just kind of sporadic. It's not real bad, but it's kind of a little bit of an annoyance. So that would be the first thing. And then the second would be, you don't really want to use it. He even advises you not to really use it in colder temperatures. So if you're in North Dakota in the winter, you're probably not going to want to use that. At least if you are, make sure it's plugged in, because it won't, if you have high idle on your Cummins, it won't do the high idle. Like I have high idle, and it will not work. The 12 valve will stop it, prevent it from doing the high idle. So that's something to be mindful of. And mine does not smoke any more or less than the 12 valve tune. It does not. And anyhow, I've been pretty happy with the tune. No funky things. Have gone on with it. I like it. Fairly simple. You take a data log of your truck, you scan it, you send it to him, and he sends it back. You load it on. Again, I did it, and anyone can do it. It's fairly simple. The cost, roughly, now you're buying it from Canada, so it just depends what the conversion rate is from American to Canadian and dollar, American dollar, all that wonderful stuff. So I want to say the tuning and everything was about $475, $480, something like that. Now you will need a Microsoft Windows with Windows running Windows. So you make sure you got to have a laptop for that. And then you have to have to do the tuning, you have to have the HPI tuning on that to load the tune. So that's another $400 and some odd for that. And you know what? I just had a brain freeze. HPI, I might be wrong. HPI. Anyhow, that is, you have to have that. So when you calculate it, it's probably closer to about $1,000. I picked mine up off of Facebook Marketplace, so I was able to get the mechanism for loading the tune and all that stuff a little bit cheaper, but it still got close to about $900. So if you don't get an inside deal, you're going to pay close to $1,000 for both the tune and the equipment to load it onto the laptop and load it back onto your Cummins. Anyhow, I like it. The Cummins that I have currently right now, this 03, and let's see, miles. Let's see, 200,000 miles, 225 miles. Yeah, I've been very happy with it, with the tuning. It works great. Crappy, stupid Dodge Dash. I've got a replacement. I've just been too lazy to do it. But anyhow, hopefully you guys can learn something from this. Optimal Welding, pretty decent outfit, easy to work with. Again, not a huge company. If you try calling, it's hard to get through. I would just send an email. Optimal Welding, they're out of Canada, and small company, but I'm impressed. And even if you have a newer Cummins, you have a 17 or 16, 5th gen or 4th gen, he offers tuning for it as well. So let me do this. Get the old girl fired up here. Okay. Okay, hopefully you could, let me get away from the loader there. Hopefully you could tell the difference. I'm sure you could. You gotta love the sound of the Cummins. Anyhow, thank you for putting up with my shoddy camera work and my stammering tongue. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, reach out to me. More than happy to answer. I'm not a mechanic, but I love fooling around with these things. And yeah, it's been a pretty good truck for me so far. Oh, I'll do a blow-by check. Always fun to do that. Pretty much no blow-by. Not bad for over 200,000 miles. And pretty close to operating temp. So obviously to do a good blow-by test, you always want to be actually at operating temp, but yeah, not much at all for blow-by. All right, thanks again. Actually, let's end it with the old girl making some noise. Oh yeah, you gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, hopefully you could hear the difference between 12 valve tune and the normal tune.